Hotel Transylvania. Transformania is a 2022 American computer-animated adventure comedy film produced by Columbia Pictures and Sony Pictures Animation and released by Amazon Studios. The fourth and final installment in the Hotel Transylvania franchise and the sequel to Hotel Transylvania 3, Summer Vacation. The film is directed by Derek Drymon and Jennifer Kluska from a screenplay by Amos Vernon, Nunzio Randazzo, and Jendi Tartakovsky. It stars the voices of Andy Samberg, Selena Gomez, Catherine Hahn, Jim Gaffigan, Steve Buscemi, Molly Shannon, David Spade, Keegan-Michael Key, Brian Hull, Fran Drescher, Brad Abrell, Asher Blinkoff, Tyler Ninja Blevins and Zoe Berry. In the film, Dracula and Johnny, who transformed into a human and monster, must find the way to South America to revert, before their transformations become permanent. Originally planned to be released theatrically in the United States on October 1, 2021, Sony Pictures Releasing cancelled the film's release plans and sold the film's distribution rights to Amazon Studios for $100 million. Due to rising cases of the SARS-CoV-2 Delta variant in the United States. The film was released exclusively on Amazon Prime Video on January 14, 2022 and theatrically in China on April 3. The film received mixed reviews from critics. Plot. During the celebration of the 125th anniversary of Hotel Transylvania, Mavis overhears Dracula's plans to retire and leave the hotel to her and Johnny. She tells Johnny, who excitedly tells Dracula his plans to renovate the hotel. Worried about Johnny ruining the hotel, Dracula lies to him saying that there is a monster real estate law which only lets monsters own the hotel, disappointing Johnny. Van Helsing decides to help Johnny using a ray that turns humans into monsters and vice versa. After testing it on his guinea pig Gigi, he uses it on Johnny, who turns into a dragon-like monster. Learning about Monster Johnny, Dracula tries to turn him back to normal, but accidentally turns himself into a human and breaks the ray's crystal. Van Helsing tells Dracula and Johnny that they can still turn themselves back to normal by getting a new crystal which lies in the Cave of Reflection in South America, so Dracula and Johnny set off to do so. Dracula's friends Frank, Wayne, Griffin, and Murray end up becoming humans as well, as a result of drinking from a fountain that was contaminated by the ray. Mavis and Erica confront Van Helsing after learning about Dracula and Johnny's whereabouts in the news, but he warns them about the effects of the ray, as humans who become monsters continue to mutate and become more hostile as time goes on. With this in mind, the rest of the gang head to South America to find Dracula and Johnny. While traveling through the South American jungle, Dracula and Johnny begin to bond, and Dracula eventually begins to confess that he lied about the monster real estate law, but the rest of the group find them. Things turn sour when Dracula admits his deception regarding passing over the hotel to Mavis and Johnny. This prompts an upset Johnny to believe Dracula does not consider him family and to mutate further before running away. Mavis goes to find Johnny while Dracula and the rest of the gang go to the Cave of Reflection. Mavis finds Johnny, but the transformation has turned him very volatile. She leads him to the Cave of Reflection where they finally find the crystal. When Mavis tries to turn Johnny back to normal, nothing happens due to him being too frenzied. In desperation, Dracula lets himself get captured by Johnny and goes on a remorseful tangent about how wrong he was about Johnny and how he now sees the best in him, finally acknowledging him as family. This brings Johnny back to his senses, and he is returned to human form. With Dracula and his friends turned back to normal, they return home only to find the hotel has been destroyed by Gigi. After turning Gigi back to normal, Dracula bemoans his loss. He soon decides to let Mavis and Johnny rebuild the hotel to their liking. 1 year later, Mavis and Johnny show Dracula the rebuilt Hotel Transylvania, which he comes to enjoy. Voice cast. Andy Samberg as Jonathan Johnny Loughran, Mavis' husband, Dracula's son-in-law, Erica's stepson-in-law and Dennis' father. Selena Gomez as Mavis Dracula, Johnny's wife, Dracula's daughter, Erica's stepdaughter, and Dennis' mother. Victoria Gomez voices a young Mavis Dracula. Catherine Hahn as Erica Van Helsing, Dracula's wife, Mavis' stepmother, Johnny's stepmother-in-law, Dennis' step-grandmother and the great-granddaughter of Abraham Van Helsing. Jim Gaffigan as Professor Abraham Van Helsing, a former monster hunter, Dracula's great-grandfather-in-law and ex-nemesis and Erica's great-grandfather who invented the monstrification ray. Steve Buscemi as Wayne, a werewolf, and Wanda's husband. Molly Shannon as Wanda, a werewolf, and Wayne's wife. David Spade as Griffin, an invisible man. Keegan-Michael Key as Murray, an ancient mummy. Brian Hull as Count Dracula, the founder of Hotel Transylvania and Mavis' father, Johnny's father-in-law, Dennis' maternal grandfather and Erica's husband. He was originally voiced by Adam Sandler in the first 3 films. Fran Drescher as Eunice, Frankenstein's wife. Brad Abrell as Frankenstein, Eunice's husband. He was originally voiced by Kevin James in the first 3 films. Asher Blinkoff as Dennis, the dumb son of Johnny and Mavis, Vlad's great-grandson, Erica's step-grandson and Dracula's grandson. Zoe Berry as Winnie, a werewolf who is the daughter of Wayne and Wanda and a friend of Dennis. She was originally voiced by Sadie Sandler in the first 3 films. Asher Bishop as Wesley, a werewolf who is the son of Wayne and Wanda. Tyler Ninja Blevins as Party Monster. Jendi Tartakovsky as Blobby, a green blob monster. Victoria Gomez as Wilma, a werewolf who is the daughter of Wayne and Wanda. Jennifer Kluska as Wendy, a werewolf who is the daughter of Wayne and Wanda. Derek Drymon as a zombie that was briefly turned into a human. Aaron LaPlante as Gremlin Pilot. Gremlin Stewardess. Melissa Sturm as Airbag Monster. Voice on Phone. Chloe Malaise as Female Newscaster. Scott Underwood as Male Newscaster. Michelle Murdocha as Witch. Will Townsend as Zombie. Production. In February 2019, Sony Pictures Animation announced that a 4th film had been in development. In October 2019, Jendi Tartakovsky confirmed that he would not direct the film. In September 2020, Jennifer Kluska and Derek Drymon, a storyboard artist on the first 2 Hotel Transylvania sequels and a former crew member of SpongeBob SquarePants and Adventure Time, respectively, were confirmed to be the film's directors, while Tartakovsky would write the screenplay and serve as an executive producer alongside Selena Gomez, who voices Mavis in the series. Production took place remotely during the COVID-19 pandemic. In April 2021, the film's title was revealed to be Hotel Transylvania, Transformania, and was confirmed that it would be the final film in the franchise. That same month, Sony confirmed that Adam Sandler would not reprise his role as Dracula. The role was given to Brian Hull after voicing the character in the short film Monster Pets, while Catherine Hahn, Steve Buscemi, David Spade, and Keegan-Michael Key were confirmed to reprise their roles. The following month, it was announced that Brad Abrell had replaced Kevin James as the voice of Frankenstein. Mark Mothersbaugh returned to score the film, having previously scored the first 3 installments, while Lynn Hobson served as editor. Release. Hotel Transylvania, Transformania was released by Amazon Studios on Prime Video, on January 14, 2022. In February 2019, Sony Pictures Releasing scheduled the film for release on December 22, 2021. In April 2020, the film was moved up to August 6, 2021. In April 2021, the film was moved up again to July 23, 2021. In June 2021, the film was rescheduled to October 1, 2021, due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In August 2021, Sony Pictures cancelled the film's theatrical plans and entered discussions to sell the distribution rights to a streaming service, in response to the rising cases of the SARS-CoV-2 Delta variant in the United States. On August 16, 2021, it was reported that Amazon Studios was in negotiations to acquire the distribution rights to the film for $100 million from Sony and would release it exclusively on Amazon Prime Video worldwide, excluding China, where Sony would release it theatrically on an undetermined date. Sony would also retain home entertainment and linear television rights to the film. On October 6, 2021, Amazon set a release date of January 14, 2022. The film had a limited theatrical release on February 25, 2022. On March 7, 2022, it was announced that the film would have a theatrical release in China beginning April 3 of that year. Reception.